Warm out here.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
This is like gold, eh?
Yeah.
Literal gold. I mean, that's magical. Really nice.
Yeah. So what is this? Episode 4 of the Yellow Screen Diaries. Okay, so where did we leave off yesterday? We looked at a prototype you were making.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about its manufacture. Kind of landed up that, I know I did say to you I thought it was too safe, but I thought actually no, that was not wrong. That was the wrong thing to say. I think it had the potential was there for it to be kind of refined quite a bit, which is I think where we landed.
Yeah.
So we had a space where a very beautiful kind of folding up. It's almost like a meditation camping stool is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So the potential was there, so you were going to go and look at refining it. And when I left you last, you and Amber were on the laptop making sketches and drawing it up, like the technical details, technical drawing.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So that's exactly where we are. I mean, I think I liked your comment because it's actually good to like jolt yourself. And I looked at it and I thought, I think what's changed or what the opportunity became is an opportunity for higher level of detail. Mm-hmm. And way more like time given to that refinement and like more than anything else. But actually, and I was pondering that, thinking like how we only know what we know,
right?
And this exercise is to push out of comfort zone into unknown places. But then also what happens is inevitably you end up coming back to where you actually express yourself the most. And I was kind of pushing and pulling with that, like wanting to go into a new direction, wanting to like be true to that journey and see where it ends up, but also like you can't force how you are, like how things actually come out,
And I also look. What I was also saying to you is I would love to see you design something intensely personal.
Yeah.
So maybe personal and going into something radically different.
Yes.
Those are contrary ideas. I think I've also thought about it. So I think for me, something that's intensely personal to you would be the way to go.
Yeah.
And that this camping chair, having discussed how much you love camping, and how much part of your kind of growing up, and you do it now, I think is perfect.
Yeah.
So where did you get to with the refinement and those details?
I mean, I'll show you now. It's beautiful. We really like the progression from my first sample, which is made by hand and very rough and ready, to the next one is already like a different product. Okay. It already feels so much nicer, and there's just more to look at and more to enjoy.
Yeah.
So we did that. We had a few snags, which we're running another one now to get over those snags. But what was cool is just immediately how some of the details started to come out, like the brass opportunity to use brass, and all of those things kind of come from accepting like the space and accepting what we're working with, like this meditation kind of camping meditation space. And we've got a beautiful sample, which is cool. And the big irony in all of this is that a lot of the time these kind of design week challenges, we aiming to have a product that's production ready and that's like friendly for the business, but often it's super hard to get that right, and we end up like having to do way more refinement. And this time around we said like we're not aiming for that. We're aiming for like expression for me, and something that could end up being a one-off sample or a one-off art piece that never gets made again. We kind of gave ourselves that permission, and we've ended up with something which is really production friendly. Okay. Which is quite a funny irony, like by not aiming for it,
We were talking about this item being on the luxury end of say a folding stool. Yeah. Folding camping stool. So I think it's quite important that we end up with something that is that refined and well finished. Do you think you're going to be able to accomplish that in the time?
I think so, yeah. That's basically what today is going to be all about. Is really, I've got a few different things to try, and I found some really beautiful leather. Yeah. I found actually interestingly the shoulder of the cow, shoulder leather, which I never knew that there was a difference there. So from Pedersen, which is cool as well. I really like getting local product and local industry. So it feels cool, and the shoulder, you can see the way the hide is, that it is literally the shoulder.
So it's curved.
It's got a bit of a curve to it, and you can see the creases from like shoulder blades, which is cool as well. That's like just a little bit of interesting detail to find.
Are you still thinking of putting some slices
Yeah,
into it?
I'm
Okay,
thinking of
cool.
putting a few slices. I'm going to go and start prototyping that now.
All right.
And also I bought a few different types of rivets and stitches and things just to test out like what's going to really work. What's the detail that feels right for the piece. I have a suspicion. I know which one it is, but I want to just like follow the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just quickly, the couple of the snags that you said you came across. What were those briefly?
They're kind of production snags. You have to like working with round form is always hard. You know, that's just the beginning.
Why?
Because you don't have something that's flat. You can put it down on the ground and it's flat, and so you know where the top and the bottom is. So you've got 90 degrees. You work from that. Everything kind of references that original dimension.
Right.
With round objects, you know, they roll around, and so you struggle
from an accuracy of
get a reference point. So we have to do a few tricks to try and work around that. And then also we just had a few snags from being tired and making mistakes and just like not thinking about some stuff, which is just the nature of like a week where we're doing this in a short space of time. We also have other things to do this week, and it's just how it goes.
But I'm guessing that's part of your production, your process anyway, when you're making prototypes. You know, you're going to come across
every
stuff.
prototype you find refinement, and that's kind of the reason why we do it. Is my personal approach is make one as fast as you can, even if the first one's like out of cardboard and duct tape, but make something, because as soon as you start making, you start seeing the opportunity for next refinement, and then like our latest one is refined already, and the next one will be more refined. You know, and that's just the nature of a production focus. So, really cool.
So, I mean, let's go and have a look at it. Am I looking at what is the final thing that's going to be refined, or do you think you'll still make another one?
We'll still make another one.
Okay.
We might make like 2 more today, just to really push and just see where we go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to because we would normally sit with something for a bit longer and not kind of. I would make a sample and sit with it for a few days or a week or 2 even, and just look at it and think about it every now and then and kind of put it in my office or somewhere. Whereas now we're trying to accelerate that. So we have to kind of go forward with a few options that are possible and see which one really lands. Okay. It's the accelerated part of this process.
Yeah. Okay, should we go and have a look?
Yeah, let's go see.
Okay.
Nice.